just saw this guy try to bench press a bar?
That's a good point.
He's not doing anything. Okay, so they did the debate last night, right? With Zohran, Andrew Cuomo, and Curtis Sliwa.
Right.
Okay, and one of the questions was about Kathy Hochul, the current Democrat governor of the state.
Who, by the way, has endorsed Zamboni, but he would not endorse her.
Are you sure? Maybe last night that changed. Let's see.
Oh.
Or before Sally starts to ask you about schools, a show of hands, who supports Kathy Hochul for re-election?
Uh-oh.
It's a decision that should be made after this general election.
He's not raising
So
his
no decision. Mr. Cuomo, you handpicked her as your lieutenant governor. No thought?
You have to know
She
who's
pushed
running.
me out of office.
Gotta know who's
Okay,
running.
so
And I would add that I do think that Kathy Hochul, our governor, has been doing a good job in not only
Do you
serving
support her
and
for
delivering,
re-election?
not only delivering for New Yorkers, but also standing up to Donald Trump.
just what do you support her for re-election?
Then endorse her.
I'm focusing on November.
Why don't you
And
endorse
I
her?
appreciate her support,
All right,
and I
thanks,
appreciate
candidates.
her work.
But you
Thanks,
don't
candidates.
endorse her.
How about a shout out for
All right,
Lee
we're gonna
Stefanik
turn
to
to-
take out Kathy Hochul?
No.
So you have a
Okay.
Republican
All right.
Mayor Curtis, a Republican Governor
Thank you, gentlemen.
Stefanik,
Thank you.
like Giuliani
We want to
and
talk about
Pataki, who
schools.
saved this city.
We want to
and
talk about
state.
schools. Sally?
That is awesome.
That was a fun time last night. Yeah.
You know, I read another review. When we watched this, I got to listen to it. I remember to think about the crowd because one of the reviews that talked about how the crowd would, when the other candidates were talking, they wouldn't pay attention. They didn't care. And they would focus on what Zamboni was saying. So it was predominantly his crowd. And then they just treated the other people like crap. So he's not going to lose.
So it's probably
not
going to
gonna
be, as Sliwa was referring to, it sounds like it's going to be Kathy Hochul versus Lee Stefanik for governor.
Yeah.
Which would be a very interesting.
And it's funny. See, that's what's wrong. That's why he'll never. I mean, Cuomo was like, "Why won't you endorse her? Why won't you, douche?
Yeah, right.
You made her.
Yep.
She's just because she's the one that pushed you out."
I want you to think of New York City on September 11th, 2001. Okay, you got that? Now listen to what we're debating 24 years later for the mayor of that city. Holy crap, clip 14.
Candidate in the Democratic primary for him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. And what Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality and they want respect. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city. And that, frankly, is something that is shameful and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Yeah, except that is totally false. I worked with the Muslim community for many years.
Name a single mosque you went to when you were the governor. Can you name a single mosque you went to in 10 years?
Before you were ever here. They were
Before I was here.
Before you were even in state government. I worked with the Muslim community.
Yeah.
Imams presided over State of the States.
Cool.
We worked in religious working groups,
right.
You couldn't
tolerance
visit a
groups,
mosque.
anti-Semitic groups, etc.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, good luck there, New York City.
Wow.
Especially to you Muslims, because I guess
Has he been asked?
you're
if
the
he-
ones
what
that they're
churches?
catering to.
I'm sure he has the answer.
Which
because
churches have you been
he's
to?
the one asking about the mosque. He
So
definitely
he's gotta
has
have a
church.
list ready, yeah.
He's got a couple of churches in his back pocket, but
Yep.
that should have been the question.
Okay, so one more clip for you from the debate last
I'm
night.
sorry, I'm not a Muslim. They wouldn't let me in any of the mosques when I came by. What churches have you stopped in?
That's a great point. That should have been the freaking answer, but that's not what New York City's going to get. This is fun. What about the qualifications for the candidates?
Thank you. Lance, in my ear. Instead of aside from the churches, how many synagogues have you gone to in New York? That's
Lance with the mic drop.
That's a great. I just would have stuck with churches. I apologize to my Jewish neighbors.
Here you go. Watch this. Watch this.
In other words, what the Assemblyman said is he has no experience. And this is not a job for someone who has no management experience to run 300,000 people, no financial experience to run
He's so terrible.
$115 billion
He is terrible.
budget.
But here comes
He
a
literally
great
has
point
never
from Zohran.
had a job.
He's never had a
On
job.
his resume, it says he interned for his mother.
His resume.
This is not a job
He
for a
interned for his
first-timer.
mother. That's
Any
funny.
day, you could have a hurricane, you have, God forbid, a 9/11, a health pandemic. If you don't know what you're
Mr.
doing,
Cuomo.
people
We have to
could
respond.
die.
Mr. Mamdani, want to respond?
And if we have a health pandemic, then why would New Yorkers turn back to the governor who sent seniors to their death in nursing homes? That's the kind of experience that's on offer here today. What I don't have in experience, I make up for in integrity. And what you don't have in integrity, you could never make up for in experience.
Yes. May I? First, what you said was totally false, as you know.
Which part was false?
During COVID, everyone did whatever they could in this state. And there have been numerous investigations where they've gone through it and they said we followed federal guidance. But yes, people died during COVID, and my heart breaks for everyone that died in this state and across this nation.
But just to be clear, just to fact check that, there is a criminal investigation reportedly underway at the DOJ about your testimony to Congress about your nursing home record.
Yeah, but that is a political issue with the Congress. They made a referral, which has gone absolutely nowhere.
Okay, there you go. So in other words, good luck, New York City. You have an Islamist on one side, and you have a guy who sent seniors to their deaths unnecessarily. I'm Curtis Sliwa running for mayor.
It wouldn't have mattered, but he should have had the beanie on, hanging on the podium, and the beret, yeah, whatever, the beanie, beret, red thing that he puts on his head. That should have been hanging on the podium so that you knew it was him.
Yeah.
Now instead of wear your beret, so that people don't think you're just another douche
What a
in a suit.
mess that city is.
Ugh.